Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome to another reading today here at Transform with Rian. And we are going to channel in a very fun message today. It's going to be a mystery message on something you need to know right now. So it's going to be a mystery message. We'll see where this reading takes us. I'm super excited for each and every one of you. So let's take a deep breath in and exhale out. Just calm your energies and we'll pull a card to get you in the best frequency and alignment for your reading today. So we have take fresh air. It's time for a break. Step outside to get some fresh air. Break away from your usual routine. Refresh your mind. Your body will thank you for it. So I'm sensing here for many people that maybe things have been feeling a bit stagnant, a little bit uncertain, and maybe your mind has been trying to make sense of it, create order again, and try to piece together whatever you should be doing next, whatever the next move is for you. And so the answers don't seem to be coming. For now, we'll see what happens with your readings, but one thing that will really help you is, like this card says, take fresh air. So break up the routine, do something different, do something a little bit unexpected and random, and that will sort of get the creative juices and energies flowing. It kind of makes me think of the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's like one of the most critically acclaimed movies from 2022. Let me know if you watched it down below. But there was a key element of the movie of people having to do something totally random, totally unexpected for them to access these amazing skills and abilities within them. So I feel like that's kind of a very similar energy for all of you. So take that advice, okay? Break up the routine, break up the flow, and do something random and different. So let's start your reading. Let's receive this mystery message that you need to hear now, beginning with group number 1. So let me put these off to the side so we can focus in on you. Welcome, group number 1, to your mystery message, something you need to hear, right now. And as I was preparing this reading, I was called to pull a tea leaf card to be revealed at the end once you got more information. So let's start here with the crystal and energy card. So you have Celestite, soothe your soul. And you also have strategy. So what I'm seeing here is that maybe several of you, if not all of you, that were drawn to this reading have been very anxious about something because, again, you're not seeing like the pathway forward. You're like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know what I'm going to do next. It could be related to a relationship, could be related to finances, career, work, job. I feel you on this one. There have been many moments in the past year for me where I'm like, I thought this is what I was supposed to be doing, but it's not leading anywhere. I feel like I'm not getting any sort of breaking any making any headway, breaking ground. Like I feel like I'm still stuck. So what am I supposed to do next? What can I be doing here to kind of get me where I want to be? Get me in the situation I want to be in, okay? So if that's how you've been feeling, then this is definitely the reading for you, okay? I feel like we're going to unearth some strategies that are going to help you move forward just in this reading alone. But there's going to be more revealed. I have a sense of it. It's like, revealing the instructions for what you need to do step by step rather than giving you the whole list of steps you need to take all at once. So let's get some clarifiers here. What is this mystery message that you need to hear, right now, as it relates to a strategy that you can implement for your future, for whatever it is that you want to achieve? So we have Ace of Wands, the Empress, and the Four of Cups. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is there has been some sort of disconnect between where you want to go and where your energy is currently at, okay? So with the Empress card, we are being called to focus in on the notion of what are we actually nourishing? Meaning, what is our energy and our focus going towards? Where are we putting our time, okay? Like, for example, I feel like, this past week, I was feeling very low energy, very kind of like uninspired, and spent a lot of time binge watching this series called Quantico. It's on Hulu. It's like, it came out like years ago. And honestly, I don't even know how I got into looking for this series, but I decided to watch it because I just felt like called to watch it. And then I suddenly got sucked into this binging thing. And I, had to pause and ask myself, today I was like, what am I really doing here? Like, I want to be like helping people. I want to be reaching out there, providing guidance and coaching and you know, wisdom to people so that I can help them along their journey. But how am I actually doing that now? By sitting here and binge watching Quantico, like this solo activity where I'm not really interacting with people or recording anything, right? So the same thing with you. Maybe there's something that you've been indulging in a little bit too much that isn't really serving your goals, right? So it's kind of putting you in this energy here of sort of like, I wish this could be, I wish I could be doing this, I wish I could be doing that, but feeling unfulfilled, right? Feeling kind of down because it's not actually happening, right? When you really need to be focusing on your passions and putting your energy there in this potential, okay? I'm looking at this scene and it's reminding me of like maybe a cave within a volcano. It's almost even reminding me of Lord of the Rings, right? Where there's that opening scene in the first movie where Isildur is supposed to be tossing the dark ring, the evil ring, into the lava pits to melt it away and like break the hold of evil and free the people, right? Free the land. And then he doesn't. And so I feel like this is something where you're here to make a choice to fuel and provide the passion for your future, okay? So, maybe if it's like even weight loss, and you're saying like, okay, I want to be healthier, I want to lose weight because I'm noticing I'm getting like really sluggish, my energy isn't good, I'm having health issues, right? But maybe you haven't gotten around to like buying the groceries that you need to serve your healthy diet, or going to the gym, right? Maybe you haven't even signed up for the gym. Maybe you haven't, maybe you downloaded the app to listen to while you go on your daily walks, for 20, 30 minutes, but you haven't gone on the walks. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like, what have you been doing instead then, right? What have you been doing instead that you've been putting your time, energy, effort into that has you still feeling kind of down? I'm feeling even some energy of self-pity, like, oh, I wish I could do this, but I haven't been doing this. I'm such a failure. I'm doing so bad. Like, I don't deserve this, or I guess I don't really want it that bad, or I suck, like whatever sort of negative self-talk that you've been putting into yourself. What is happening here is you're nourishing that negativity within you. You're giving it fuel, you're giving it power, and it's perpetuating. It just keeps on going, and you keep getting stuck in this negative loop. Well, here with this wand, which wands, like Harry Potter, they cast spells. They bring something magical into reality out of nothing, right? Just by waving a wand and saying a certain set of words, you can create something magical. And that's what can happen in your life, okay? Just say the words, I care about my health and I am going on a walk right now. That is sort of that ignition, that catalyst, that takeoff to get you towards your goals. And I said that to myself now. I watched, like, my God, 3 or 4 episodes of Quantico in a row, and I was like, no, I need to record a video. I need to be out there helping and motivating people and encouraging people and spreading positive, optimistic energy, creative, manifesting energy out there. And so I just told myself, I'm going to record a video right now. Bam, I got out of the bed, took a shower to freshen up my energies, and got these cards together. And here I am doing this reading. So it's about saying out loud, making that invocation, casting that spell about what you're manifesting next. And this is not about big picture, okay? This is just about what is your next step right here, right now. So take a moment and just pause and type it down below or write it down. Definitely say it out loud. After you're done watching this reading, what are you going to do right here, right now, that's going to fuel your goal, fuel your ambition? And again, Don't get carried away. Don't think too big. Don't think too crazy. Just what is the next best step that you can do right here, right now? Don't even think about the next step after that. Just what can you do right here, right now? So think about it while I get this next set of cards and write it down, comment it below, say it out loud to yourself. Okay, Spirit said just those two from this deck. So what do we have here? Eight of Cups, Page of Swords. Okay, so this is about leaving something behind. So there's something in your life right now that you need to cut out. What is that? Okay, for some of you, maybe it's certain foods that you're stocking in your house, in the cupboard, in the fridge, that's not healthy for you, okay, that doesn't serve your weight loss or health goals. Maybe for some of you who are trying to attract love, maybe there's a person in your life like an ex, or maybe a hookup or a situationship that you need to just cut out of your life, because all the time you're spending with them to try to soothe your energies, that you're kind of like, well, you know, I'll just keep this person around until I find my true love, until I finally meet my soulmate. So I'll just keep them around just to kind of like have fun and whatever, and to make you feel better. Like, you need to just cut them out of your life right now, all right? You need to walk away from it because they're really taking up space. They're taking up a slot in which something else needs to slide in. Okay, so it's like literally for those of you that are trying to make some health changes in your life. It's like, you know, maybe that tub of ice cream in your freezer is taking up space when you should be putting something else in there, like, I don't know, frozen fruits, for example, to make a smoothie with, like I like doing, right? So where is something taking up space in your life that you can free up for something else? Maybe for some of you, if you have financial goals, maybe it's that latte that you get every morning on the way to work that costs like $5, $6, $7, $8 that you can cut back on. Either you get a smaller size just to start you off, or you just start making your own coffee at home, right? I know, not as sexy to like make your coffee at home, then go to the drive-through. But that is going to get you further on your goal of maybe saving up money for a trip you've always wanted to go on, or to put towards your credit card bills or something, okay? Because this Page of Swords is saying that your actions, whatever it is that you're doing here, is communicating to the universe, communicating to your guides, this is who I am, this is what I want. And so they're just they're not able to help you or take you further, right? If you're saying like, hey, I want to be a millionaire, but I'm, you know, instead of investing my money or saving it for whatever, I'm spending $9 a day on my latte, right? And so you're communicating to the universe that, hey, maybe you don't want that $1,000,000 as much as you say you do. Maybe you don't want to meet your soulmate as much as you say you do because you are hanging out with this person here, your hookup or your situationship or your ex, whatever it is, right? So this is like, I'm seeing here, this mystery message is really one about like being honest with yourself, and you know, actions speak louder than words. So what is it that you're saying to yourself, doing, saying to yourself or to others, but you're not acting on, that you're not following through on? Okay, what are you communicating here? And it's about changing, taking that first step as a Page of Swords, beginning to take that step and changing the dialogue here, okay? Changing your actions, making it match up more with what you are saying. All right, so let's get another layer of this mystery message to help motivate you and get you where you want to be, because you deserve your happily ever after. You know, I'll be saying that at the end of my videos, that it's never too late for your happily ever after. So get rid of that negative self-talk. Get rid of all those things that are not helping you move forward towards your goals, and start doing the things that are, all right? So what do we have here? 8 of Coins, the World, and 3 of Wands. How appropriate is this? So the 3 of Wands is really saying like, where are you trying to go? Chart that path, okay? So like here, this little fairy is hanging out in the trees, but it wants to climb the peaks of the mountains, but it's here sitting in the forest. It hasn't left the forest yet. It sees that mountain peak. It sees that goal, that dream, that achievement it wants, but it hasn't left yet. And so, you know, we don't know what lies just beyond the edge of the forest, but this fairy needs to go through the forest to the edge of the forest before we'll ever know what's beyond the forest borders. Do you know what I'm saying? And so you just have to take that first step because you don't know what's going to happen next just yet. And it's probably not going to be helpful, really, for you to know what happens next. Okay? So take that first step. So get rid of that junk food and then figure out what you're going to purchase instead. Then figure out your meal plan or whatever. It's that first step that's so key. All right, maybe delete that contact out of your phone so you're not tempted to message them, okay? Or block that number so you're not tempted to respond to them. So getting these things out of your life, okay? So what I'm seeing here is for many of you, there was a lesson that maybe you had to learn, okay, by going through this hardship, by going through this challenge. There's something that you had to learn, and you've already learned it. So now it's about applying it, okay? Okay, so what I'm seeing here is you know actually what you need to be doing, like we were talking about earlier. You know exactly what you need to be doing, hon. The thing is, you need to just do it already, okay? This is your wake-up call. This is your call to action here to create that magic in your life. Light that spark and just feed it and nurture it and let it grow into this beautiful like volcano that builds and builds and creates more in your life, okay? Because that's what volcanoes do, you know, like volcanoes, yeah, they might be scary and they might have an aspect to them that's destructive, but really volcanoes, they make more land, they create more space for land animals and people to habitate. Okay, like that's what the volcanoes do in Hawaii. They make the island bigger. And so if you want to build things, if you want to create a space for abundance to flow in, like abundance of love, abundance of health and energy, and abundance of money, like you have to create that foundation, that space for it to grow on. Does that make sense? So whatever it is that you felt like you weren't good enough, you needed to learn something more, like, no, you don't. You know what you need to know already for this next step, okay? Like, I'm hearing for your health, like you know what you need to do already. You need to get rid of some things that are not healthy for you. And then you can figure out from there on out, like what are the healthy things that are going to be good for you, okay? Maybe you don't know exactly what type of exercise you want to do. And you're like, well, I need to be physically moving, but I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to do Zumba? Do I want to do yoga? Do I want to do CrossFit? Like the first step is like just sign up for a class. Then you make the decision if you like yoga more than you like Pilates, than you like CrossFit or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? So you know already what you need to do. You've learned. You've received the information you need to receive. You received that sign, like you went to the doctor's office, you heard something good. Your hookup, your ex, whatever, flaked out on you. Like you already know it's bad news. You already know that's not the thing you want, the way to go. So it's time to acknowledge that lesson and take a different route, take a different step, all right? Wow, this was really powerful. This is really inspiring, and I got a lot out of it as well. So I'm so happy that I got to do this reading for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting this channel by viewing, by letting the ads run, by giving this a like. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much for helping me as well remind myself like what I need to be doing to be making that type of positive impact I desire in the world. And of course, I'm going to say this again, my loves. Remember, it's never too late for your happily ever after. You can always change your circumstances and realize that dream you've been wanting. So sending you all so much love. Thank you for letting me do this reading again. Ciao. Oh my goodness, group one, I totally forgot to reveal your tea leaf. 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. There you go. This is such a beautiful reassurance for you because whatever you want to achieve, you are going to get it. You just have to take those first steps. You are supported. You are going to be lucky in this. Whatever happened in the past, whatever times and things you've tried before to attract love, attract wealth, have a healthy, beautiful, energetic body, whatever those things were before that maybe didn't work out like you were hoping, it's gonna work out this time, okay? It will totally work out this time for you because you have good luck this time supporting you and helping you out. So for reals this time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Hey there, loves. Welcome to your reading today to find out that mystery message on what you need to hear right here, right now. So let's jump into it. I was called to draw some tea leaf cards to kind of close out your reading today. So interestingly enough, when I was creating your piles, you, my dear group 2, got 2 cards. So let's start with your reading first. Let's just get the message and then we'll find out what those 2 bonus messages and words of encouragement are. So you have smoky quartz. Let it go. And you also have action. So what I'm seeing here is that there is something in your life, whether that's emotionally, energetically, or even physically, that you need to let go. And it has to be a very active process. So, I'm thinking for some of you that are in like a relationship or a situationship or maybe like a hookup thing or whatever that isn't good for you, like you can't just kind of ghost or just not reply. You actually have to say and do something. I feel like there's something that you need to like get off your chest. So then that way, when you decide to, explore or build a relationship with someone else, this energy from this person that you have to let go won't be lingering. Okay, you'll get this fresh start. So we have this like black horse here and then this white horse. And so I feel like there's some heavy energy, right, that's around you that you need to purify from, that you need to let go of and become clean again, energetically or emotionally, right? So maybe again, like I said, there's like a hookup situation, a situationship, an ex that you've recently realized like, hey, I had unfinished business with you, or I felt like there was more to this, but now I see that that isn't the case, or I have nothing else to say to you. There's this relationship isn't going anywhere and where I want it to go, right? Like maybe you want something more long term, more where you feel seen, heard, respected, and loved and cherished, and you're not getting that. So you need to let this energy go, okay, fully, this person go, and then move forward. For some of you, I feel like this has something to do with like work is what I'm hearing, okay? That maybe some of you, there is your current work situation is not fulfilling. Like you're not happy there at all. And I'm getting the sense too that it's not so much that the work you're doing you don't like, right? It's just sort of like the atmosphere of the company. Okay, maybe it's their management style, maybe it's new policies that they've implemented, and I feel like you need to give some kind of feedback. So if you feel brave enough, like definitely talking to your superior or your manager or supervisor, whatever, about it and say like, hey, this thing that was started by the company, however many days, months, week ago, like it doesn't seem to be sitting right with me, and I don't really like it. I don't support it, and this is why. Okay. For others of you, if that kind of sounds like, ooh, that's like a lot. Maybe if you have like some kind of comment card that you can write out and leave and put it like in a box so it's like anonymous, I feel like that's something important as well. Or, wow, even for some of you, what I'm getting right now is that maybe you've noticed that something really kind of shady has been going down at work. And so you haven't reported it, or you have been turning like a blind eye to it because like maybe you're afraid to come forward and be like a tattletale. Maybe this involves someone that you like, that you consider a friend or at least a good acquaintance, and you don't want to like get them in trouble, you don't want to rat them out. But I feel like this is something that needs to be said because there's this energy of guilt that I'm feeling from you. Like you have a guilty conscience that is like, something wrong is happening, but you're not doing anything to stop it. And it's time that you report it. Okay, so I'm seeing this message right here. I feel like you just need to kind of clear your conscience, clear your energy here, okay? Very, very interesting message. Am I getting anything else before we draw some cards? So I'm going to shuffle this. I just got two that there's also something that some of you, if the first couple examples didn't really resonate or make sense, there's some object that you've been holding on to that you need to let go of, okay? So I don't know if it's some type of um, trinket or token or property or car. Like there's some physical thing that you've been holding on to that you need to replace or that you need to get rid of, okay? Because I'm hearing that it could even start to become a bit dangerous for some of you, okay? So, for example, maybe if you need to get your car replaced, it's because the car is like very unreliable, very unsteady. Like it could even involve something like you getting into an accident because your car stalls or your car goes haywire or smoke starts coming out from the under the hood. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's something there that you, or maybe you know that check engine light or whatever is like coming on in your car, and you haven't had the time because you've been so busy, or you've been worried about like how much it's going to cost you to get this issue fixed, right? Because you know, oh my gosh, car maintenance stuff can get kind of pricey. But this is for your safety. Okay, this is the message that you need to hear. This has to do with your safety, okay? And there is no price that's too much to make sure you're safe. And for others of you, I'm sensing it could be something around your house, okay? Like maybe you need to get something replaced, like some piping or some like window frame or some insulation, or maybe termites got into the house or something, right? Like I feel like something needs to get replaced, or maybe like the tub or whatever, like there's a leak and so it's like causing water damage in your home, which could have consequences, okay? So I feel like there's definitely something that you need to do for your safety. So here we have the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Cups, and the Hierophant. Okay, so definitely I feel for sure that there is something that needs to be done because it's the right thing to do. Okay, whether that's in romance, work, or your home, or your belongings, there's something you have to do because it's the right thing to do. Okay. I'm seeing here too, we have two tens. So this is also symbolizing like a completion, a transition point here, okay? And so I feel like it's time now to really make a choice. Like, are you going to choose happiness, fulfillment, safety, well-being for yourself, or are you gonna choose pain, suffering, challenges, complications, difficulties? Okay, I feel like this, whatever this thing is that's we're talking about, like it's starting to snowball. Okay, and it's starting to be very, very detrimental for you. Okay, very harmful, and so it's really time to make that choice. It's gone on long enough, is what I'm hearing. Okay, wow. Yeah, what I'm seeing here is that for some of you that are maybe still involved with someone that you know is not a good match for you romantically, I'm seeing here with this 10 of Cups, because we have this marriage card, that, you know, your soulmate, your life partner, whoever that is really trying to connect with you, really wants to be with you, but this other person is kind of in the way, okay? It's like maybe you know them already, and they want to be with you. They even maybe made an offer, but you've been kind of holding off on committing to them for whatever reasons. You have your own, like you know what they are. And I feel like this is an opportunity for you to really connect with someone who truly appreciates you and values you, okay? And for others of you that haven't met your soulmate or your life partner, it's because energetically it's like they can sense that you're not available, right? Or maybe they're going on dates trying to find you and they're not going well and they're getting frustrated. It's because you're not going out on dates. You're not making yourself available to meet them, to get to know them, so that you can start to build this relationship together. Does that make sense? You know, it's like with law of attraction, they're trying to manifest you as well, but like you have to attract each other. And so if you're the emotional investment you're putting in this other person and the time you're spending with them, this other person, it's time that you could be spending connecting with this, your soulmate. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Okay, I hope it does. Now, let's see what else we got cooking here. Wow, okay, 4 cards. We'll do it. We got this. So I have Ace of Cups and the Star. Okay, yes. So what I'm sensing here is that this is really a prime opportunity for you to start fresh, start new. Get something better, because look at the Ace of Cups. You're like, it's beautiful cups. There's lots of fish. There's this beautiful golden chalice here. There's this star card speaking to like attracting your dreams. Okay. I'm also hearing the word abundance even. So like for some of you, going back to that work situation, okay, what I'm hearing is that this energy that you've been dealing with at work, where you have like this guilty conscience, you feel bad about something, or something's not resonating with you, vibing with you, it's keeping you from abundance, okay? Like or promotion, a pay increase, a job that pays more, has better benefits, like whatever it is, like there's something better out there for you. And the longer you stay in this unhappy situation, again, that applies to everybody, okay? Romance, career, personal belongings, whatever, the longer you kind of put up with and stay in this really crummy situation, the longer you're denying yourself this happiness, because it's really waiting for you. It's waiting for you to claim it, to be honest, is what I'm seeing with this combination, okay? And what do we have here? 2 of Wands and 6 of Swords. Yes. See, this is about making the choice. So this person is kind of stuck here between these 2 posts. It's like, do I move forward? Do I stay here? Even though this area right here, like there's that mountain, it looks a little uncertain and dangerous. It's going to erupt. Is it not? Do I turn away? Do I go back, or do I move forward in this adventure and get to the other side of this island, this mountain? To a better place, a better space, right? That's the kind of story that I'm seeing playing out here with this image. It's like maybe you're seeing like there's some type of danger, some type of harm, or some type of bad outcome with doing what you feel in your heart is the right thing to do. And that's what's stalling you. And I'm seeing here that no, you need to have this conviction and this bravery, and you need to move forward. That don't let this fear stop you from doing the right thing for you, for your health, for your safety. Excuse me, I don't know why my throat got all like scratchy. I feel like that's a sign that what needs to be communicated has been communicated enough, and you already know what that is. So I'm feeling, interestingly enough, that we need to reveal these 2 cards now, okay? So this is like, I'm getting this energy of like encouragement, of love and support, of what you need to hear about this next phase, okay? So we have funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. Apple, temptation will test you. So what I'm seeing here is that this is a test, okay? This is a test to really see what is your true character, okay? What do you value really here, okay? Do you value honesty? Do you value yourself? Do you value doing the right thing? Morals? Do you value justice? Do you value your safety? Do you value your health? And in my heart, I know that you do. I know that you do. But fear can be really tricky at times, okay? Fear can tempt us into complacency, into not doing anything. But I'm hearing now, as I'm saying this, that you are going to be so proud of yourself when you make the right choice. Like, I don't feel that there's any energy of regret that's going to happen. And I think that also whatever consequence you were afraid of, like in your mind, you're blowing it out of proportion. Like, you're really thinking worst case scenario here, when really what I've learned, and I said quite a bit on my channel, is you need to be thinking like, what's the best thing that can happen? Okay, instead of worrying about what's the worst thing that can happen, and these all these possible like negative or bad outcomes. You need to be focusing more on the positive outcomes. What are going to be the good things that will happen once you let this go, once you take the correct action, okay? That's really where your focus should lie. Wow, that's really beautiful. And I feel like we need one more card here from this as well. Okay, maybe not one more card. Oh yes, it is one more card. So we have the Seven of Cups for you. So this is like dreamer energy is what I'm getting. See, it's like the story of Aladdin and like choosing the lamp to grant the 3 wishes. So here, what the message is that I'm getting is like, what do you actually wish for? What do you actually want to happen here? Okay. And imagining it being reality. So this is like a practice with law of attraction and spirituality called visualization. Okay, so taking that moment to close your eyes and see the desired outcome that you want playing out in your imagination, playing out in your mind's eye. That's visualization. So visualizing what it is that you want will actually help you get there. You know, this actually reminds me of this really cool story that I learned while I was in medicine. So there was this basketball team, and they split the team up in 2 to see the effects of visualization versus physical practice and running drills on scoring 3-pointers. Okay, and so one half of the team, they would run the drills physically, okay? So they would be bouncing the ball, dribbling the ball, taking the shot, seeing if it made it in, okay? And then they take other people, the other half of the group, and for the same amount of time that these people were running drills, so we'll just say like 30 minutes for the sake of the story, those people spent 30 minutes in meditation, visualizing making the goal. Okay, so they were visualizing themselves dribbling the ball, coming up to the line, releasing it from their hands towards the basket, and the ball going in to make that 3-point shot. Okay, so what they found is that when they actually did the actual test, that the people who did the visualization actually, I don't remember if it's either they matched or they exceeded the amount of 3-pointers. Okay? So the thing is, what I'm taking away from this is that, you know, those people that were in the drill and they were practicing running the drill physically, some of those 3-pointers didn't make it in, right? And so now they were starting to believe that maybe they couldn't always make it in. But those people that were just visualizing that it went in 100% of the time, that helped them achieve their goal a lot better, okay? So you need to visualize your outcome in order for it to have a better chance of becoming reality. Ooh, that was really good. A good application of that story. I hope you got a lot out of it. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was really cool passing on this mystery message on something you need to hear right now. And I trust that the universe guided me through this process to deliver exactly what you needed to hear. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for, allowing the ads to play, giving the video a like, leaving a comment. It really, really means a lot to me. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. And let me know if there's any types of videos or topics you want me to cover on my channel. I'm happy to take suggestions. And remember, it's never too late for your happily ever after. Visualize it and just allow it to come true for you because you deserve it. I'll see you next time, loves. Aloha, Group 3. Welcome to your mystery message reading to find out what you need to hear right now. So I have this card here from the tea leaf deck, which I had the intuitive ping to reveal only at the end of your reading. And we'll start here with these 2 cards and pull from the tarot deck as well to get some clarifiers. So let's get started. We have Phantom Quartz, Embrace Change. Wow, that's a pretty clear message, right? Let's see what this one says. Magician and the Mirror. So, what I am seeing here is that something really big is happening in your life. And it's a big change, it's a big shift. And I'm getting here that it could be something that you've been a bit afraid of because maybe there's a little bit of uncertainty involved with this change, right? I mean, that's usually what scares people about change is the unknown. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if something bad's going to happen, right? It's like the I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But what I'm seeing here, and it's the focus of this is not even so much the magician, but it's the mirror. Okay, so the reason why, at least one of the reasons why change is coming into your life right here, right now, is because you have changed. You are a different person. Okay, I'm sensing for many of you, you've gone through something really big in the last year. Maybe some of you started a new relationship, ended a relationship, right? Maybe some of you started a new job, ended a job. Maybe some of you had something happen with your health, right? Maybe some of you lost somebody. Okay, so there was a big change that happened in your life, and you've changed because of it. And so the change that's before you right now in your life, it could be the reason why you're afraid of it is because of some fear that you had of a change that just happened, okay? And you're like, I don't want to go through that again. Like, I've just kind of adjusted and adapted, and I don't want to go through another big shift. I'm not ready yet. And here, what I'm seeing is it doesn't really matter if you think you're ready or not, because you are, okay? It's time for you to change once again, my loves. I know this is maybe not the most thrilling or exciting of news for some of you. Trust me, I get it. Like when I was in Bali, I thought I was in a position to go on this path, this specific path, and then Bali changed me. And then I had to figure out another path. And it wasn't until recently that it seems like the path is being revealed to me. Okay, so it was like I came back from Bali in October, like so clueless, so lost. And then it's not here until January that I'm starting to see the new path forward. And it is a bit scary because you're just like, oh my God, I just got over some big thing and now I have to go through another big change and transformation again. Like I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted. I don't have any more energy in me for this, right? But you do, my loves. You really, really do. I think this is that moment in your journey, in your life, where you really get to impress yourself and you really get to see what you're made of because you have that stamina, that endurance to continue moving forward. And I feel like this will help build your faith in yourself and your confidence as well because you're going to look back on this, okay, and realize, like, hey, I made it through that. And so there's nothing I can't make it through again. There's nothing that I can't overcome. There's nothing that I can't achieve. Okay? So let's get some clarifiers here. What is this all about? What can we find out about this? And it's so funny because I've been pulling like different decks to start off with initially for each of these readings just by like instinct. It's like not even conscious. So I love how these readings are shaping out to be so different from each other. Like even like the message is different, but even the flow of how I pull the cards out is like changing too. So it really feels like I'm like able to tune in so much into flow for this, and I love it. So you have the King of Coins, Two of Cups, and Six of Coins. So what I'm seeing here, what's really pulling through here is that there's this energy of being charitable, being forgiving, having grace here. Okay, so this is something really, really big for many of you. I'm sensing that for most of you, it involves another person. Okay, I'm getting the sense that this involves a person who's been maybe stubborn, who's had the upper hand, who's had the advantage for the longest time, and someone that maybe you've been at odds at. Okay, where you're just like, okay, we're not getting along, we're not seeing eye to eye on this, but they've had the upper hand, okay? So they've, it's like they've had the advantage in the situation and you haven't. And what I'm seeing here is that in order to move forward here, it's like you need to kind of be that bigger person, okay? For some of you, it may mean like compromising in something that maybe you didn't want to compromise in. That was kind of your like, this is my deal breaker. I'm sensing for some of you, it has to be a compromise there, okay? That what I'm hearing here, which is very interesting, is sometimes you have to lose in order to win. And it reminds me actually of that phrase now. You have to lose a battle to win the war, okay? So I'm seeing for many of you that you are going to have to make some type of concession here, okay, in order to win in the long run, okay? And I feel like maybe there's an element of pride that's playing into this scenario. And so just take a look at where your pride is maybe working against you here, or maybe prolonging or delaying the inevitable, or like a peaceful resolution, or just an end to the struggle or the suffering. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling here that there's this energy of principle, okay? That you're doing things out of principle. And what I'm hearing is that there's some type of change within your value system here, okay? And it's an evolution of sorts, okay? And, it's making me think of how I viewed material possessions, okay? Like for the longest time, I used to buy things because I thought that having a lot of belongings presented a good image out in the world, because I kind of cared a lot what people thought. Do you know what I'm saying? And after a while, I came to realize that that's not true. That how many things I own has actually no bearing on my self-worth and my value, okay? And there was a point in my life where I had a Jaguar, okay? It was like a hand-me-down vehicle from my parents. And, a lot of people used to think a certain way about me because I drove a Jag. And I didn't resonate, I didn't vibe with a lot of those. But, Jaguars are like luxury vehicles. And for the longest time, I felt like I had to have a luxury vehicle to present that image to the world, that I have value. I am someone of importance. I am someone that's deserving to have a good life. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I had to like step away from that. And it came to this point where it was like, I need to get my own vehicle, right? Because I didn't like driving the Jag. It didn't make me feel good. It was expensive to maintain, right? Even though it was a hand-me-down. I had to I need to get my own car, right? I need to get a car that I need and that I want and that matches up with me. And I was like, oh God, but do I really want to get a car payment again? Do I really want to do this? Is it really necessary? I was going through all of this. And when I was shopping for my car and looking at different cars, some of my friends were like, oh, you should get a Lexus, you should get a Mercedes Benz. You have the money for this, you make the income for it. And it really took me to be like, yo, even though you're my friends and I love you and I appreciate you, why should I get those kinds of things? I didn't want to succumb to peer pressure. And so I just went with my gut and I just ended up getting a Honda, a very basic Honda vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Because they were reliable, they had good gas mileage, and they had all the features that I wanted. I didn't need to have a name brand behind me, okay? And so in that case, it was I was kind of fighting a battle within myself about society's values and society's structure, and I had to understand what's important to me, right? Where are my values at? And what ways can I be charitable to myself and honor myself and have a better relationship with myself by doing what feels right? You know what I'm saying? Um, and, you know, it's so interesting because I feel like that story took a wild, wild turn. And I'm not even sure what the point was now as I reflect on it. Oh my gosh! But I really trust that you whatever stood out for you with that story or however you're feeling now, it really resonated with you and it made sense. Okay, about like honoring who you are, building a better relationship within yourself, but with other people as well. Okay, and being honest with my friends, for example, and letting them know who I really was, strengthened our relationship here, built a better connection because I showed them who I really was, and I didn't give in to peer pressure, right? I didn't do what they wanted me to do just to kind of maintain that friendship or maintain their respect. And so I feel like this is something that you need to do in your life as well. And for you, the situation is going to be different. Okay. But the relationship with my friends changed. They don't pressure me as much anymore to do things that involve spending all this money and doing things because other people think it's going to look good, right? They know they don't sway me in that way anymore. All right. So very, very interesting. I feel like that's a little bit separate from the lose the battle to win the war kind of thing. I feel like that maybe have been a separate message for another subset of you that were drawn to this reading. But anyways, oh my gosh, let's get some more cards here out for you to get some more understanding of this message. Okay, so the card that jumped out was the King of Swords. So this to me is about being the authority in your life, speaking your truth, okay? And your morals, your ethics, your values. So what I'm seeing here is about you becoming the person that you need to be, okay? So with this embracing this change, this new version of you, it's about being who you are. Okay, speaking out on what you truly value, okay? Letting people know exactly what your authentic nature is like here. Okay, so these changes that are coming through, now it's making sense. It's revealing more of your authentic self. Okay, it's like your opportunity to really say how you feel about things, who you are. Okay, like maybe some people, they've been giving you like this pity party kind of thing, like, oh, poor thing, you separated from your partner, you lost a loved one, you lost your job, like pity, 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 pity. And really, it's like you made a choice that was right for you. Okay, and you need to stand up and own it and be like, well, I left my job because of this, I left my partner because of this, or you know um, even if you were the one that got fired or the one that you got left, like, don't accept the pity of other people. Know that this was a good move for you. Know that this was just a stepping stone to lead you on the right path, okay? And like maybe you already knew that the job that you were in wasn't a good fit. Maybe you knew the relationship you weren't in wasn't a good fit, okay? And now it's about moving forward and saying like, hey, what is the right fit for me now? Who is the right fit for me now? Okay, and letting that be clear and letting that be known. And maybe for some of you, you need to let other people know, like, hey, like, maybe I looked happy in my relationship, maybe I looked happy in my job, but I really wasn't. And now this is an opportunity for me to really be happy for once. Okay, and set the record straight, set the story straight, let your truth be revealed, let your truth be spoken out loud, okay? Because I feel like maybe you've been playing a role for so long. So we have Eight of Wands, Three of Cups. Yes. So I feel like this is an opportunity to, like what we were talking about earlier, establish even a stronger and more authentic relationship with your friends and your loved ones. Okay. That with this loss, with this change, with this transition, it's like an opportunity for you to really strengthen your bonds by showing up as who you really are. Okay. Letting them see the real you. And be honest. And here with the Eight of Wands, I see a lot of movement for you. Okay, so with this change that's coming through that you're being called to step into, I feel like, you know, the adjustment period is not going to be as long as maybe the one before. Like if you were grieving something, for example, right? The grieving process can take quite some time to reach its completion, or to reach a state where it's like you can kind of let it go. You know what I'm saying? And then that stepping into that new phase, that fresh start, the new beginning, it can move a lot faster. Okay, so like maybe the loss of your job, like you've been really feeling down, feeling kind of bummed about it, and then you find a new job, a new way to get income. And that process, getting like adjusted to it, is going to happen a lot faster. Okay, or like a new relationship, like, you know, it take a while to get over a breakup, but once you find the right match for you, like feeling that love and that appreciation, that deep connection, can happen really, really quickly. Yes. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That sounds really good. Okay, let's get some more clarifiers here. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, 4 cards. I thought there was just 3. Dang. Okay, so we have the Hermit, 8 of Coins, 4 of Swords, and Wands. So I'm feeling this energy of manifestation here, okay? So 4 and 8 are really strong energies for manifestation. Like 8 is as above, so below. 4 is about creating a structure, a foundation of this manifestation. And then here the Ace of Wands is like new beginnings, starting something new. So this change that you're having is really setting up the foundation for the most authentic future for you, that authentic path. Okay, so I'm feeling for many of you now that what you were living before is the kind of life that you thought you should be living, or what other people told you you should be living. And now it's about creating the life you want. Okay, you know, I'm feeling, even for those of you that were in a relationship, it's kind of like where people were saying, oh, you two are so good together, this is a good match for you, or they got the approval of your parents, and so you went with it even though in your heart you didn't feel like it was a good match. Or maybe you felt like, oh, people were telling you like you can't get any better than this, like this is the best that you can expect in a relationship, so don't be too picky, just go for it. And you just did it even though maybe somewhere inside you didn't feel like it was the right thing to do. And for some of you too have lost a loved one, I'm almost even hearing that there was some expectation of you, right? Wow, this is really deep, and this is really kind of maybe even controversial, but like maybe for some of you who lost a parent, a grandparent, or an aunt and uncle, it's like when you lost them, you maybe had realized like how much you've been living your life to meet their expectations, so that you don't lose their love by doing something they told you not to do, right? Wow, like I'm really feeling that very deeply. Like, I don't know, maybe for example, some of you were raised like that you should never get a divorce. And that was a value instilled on you by an aunt, uncle, caregiver, parent, whatever. And with their transition, with their passing, it's like now you don't have to live up to that expectation. You can do what feels right for you if it means separating. So that's just one example, okay? I know that was like really, really specific, really, really deep. And again, it could be like debated and controversial depending on your viewpoints. But really, it's just that essence of what I'm getting at, where that restriction that you were feeling in your life can now be released, okay? It's like the limitations with this change, this big change, instead of creating more limitations in your life, which maybe you might have been thinking, it's actually opening more doors for you, okay? For what you want, a new beginning for you, okay? What I'm seeing here with this Hermit card, it's also like has to do with going within yourself, because the Hermit goes on this journey of solitude to get in better touch with who they are. So this change that is coming, it's more of a reflection of who you are becoming, who you truly are now. So embrace it. It might be a little scary. You know, sometimes it's like, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. So that could be happening for a lot of you. But really reflect, meditate on this, and understand like, who are you now, and how does your current reality reflect that? Wow. Oh my God, this reading got like hella deep. Like, wow. my gosh, I'm like even getting lightheaded from it. It's wild. So your special message here is Beryl. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. So whatever it was that you were lacking, that's what's going to be coming in now, okay? As you embrace this change, as you move forward, even though it's scary, even though you don't know what's around the corner, I feel like you need to embrace it. And that whatever you feel is lacking in your life, it really is in abundance for you out there. You just need to align with it, okay? You need to find and acknowledge where that energy is in your life already, okay? So, like, one of the practices that I found on my journey as I was learning is like, for people who want to have abundance in wealth, in love, or whatever, you need to acknowledge the areas in your life in which there already is abundance, okay? And not focusing on the lack of something. So instead of focusing on the lack of money, like focus on the abundance of something that you have, because money is just a form of energy, okay? And so you have an abundance of like cells in your body, you have an abundance of breaths in your lungs, you have an abundance of people who will support you and have your back, you have an abundance of leaves on a tree. Like, where is there already examples of abundance in your life, okay? An abundance of channels on your TV, an abundance of shows that you could stream on your streaming service, right? An abundance of electricity running through your house, an abundance of water to cook with, to wash dishes with, to bathe in, right? So focus on that on where you have abundance already in these areas. Okay, and that will help guide you in this change to attract more of that, because that change is really to help you attract more of it. Wow, your reading is just like very like metaphorical, very symbolic, and there's just so many stories and messages here that I got channeled through to share. Wow, so that was a lot. So I hope you got something out of it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for spending all the time with me today. I trust that this has served you, so thank you again. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the comments. If there's any suggestions for readings you want to see, I'm open to them. Thank you for letting the ads run, and just thank you so much for being here today and receiving this like hodgepodge and amalgam of messages. Thank you for hanging in there. I'll see you all next time, loves. Take care. Bye.